definitely need to get video equipment. My big ass fingers keep hitting the button on this phone as I turn it around and I have to redo this video. Basically, buy silver and platinum. Be helpful, kind, and grateful. Like, share, and subscribe. More importantly, be helpful, kind, and grateful. We all live on the same planet. And when people start lying, cheating, and deceiving people, that it's, well, we get what we have now. I'm going to bring it to you straight. Niels Han Dynasty told you China is falling. This story proves China is falling. They own Sri Lanka, the deep water port. It's probably One Belt Road Initiative, blah, 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 blah. Okay, here we go. I'll give you some little narration. I'll stop it and say some stuff to help give you insight to what's actually being said. And here we go. Enjoy the ride.
Huge blow to China. Colombo has asked Beijing to postpone its ship's docking at the Hambantota port. It is no ordinary ship. It is a space satellite tracker ship called the Yuanwan 5. It was supposed to reach the Sri Lankan port on the 11th of August. The 11,000-ton capacity vessel was expected to make a stop for refueling. But this week, India raised concerns over this. New Delhi alleged that the vessel is capable of snooping on the neighbors. It has an aerial reach of more than 750 kilometers. And if Beijing is granted access, it will be able to scrutinize movement in as many as 6 South Indian ports.
Okay, first off, Sri Lanka is owned by China. That's a Chinese ship. The Chinese probably wanted it there to make sure they know where our submarines are, in case they actually did want to fire and take Taiwan. They're not going to do it if our subs are in the area. So they bring this ship in. Their country of Sri Lanka that they own said, not now, because a country that doesn't own us said it raises concern, and we are more concerned about India than the hand that feeds us. They are more concerned about how the Indian government thinks than the Chinese government that feeds them. And the rest of the story, you'll find out why. Remember, Sri Lanka is owned by China, and they just told China, nah, don't let that ship in right now, because then you'll find out where all the subs are. And we don't want that, because we don't want you running Taiwan.
The Yuanwan 5 has a distinct role in missile and satellite tracking. The ship is lethal in its capabilities compared to Chinese submarines. It could map the ocean floor, which is essential for Chinese Navy anti-submarine operations. The ship is currently traveling close to Taiwan, where China is conducting live-fire exercises as a provocative response. Tensions are high at sea, yet Sri Lanka's announcement against China makes one thing clear, that while Colombo claims Beijing as its ally, New Delhi has turned out to be the real friend in need. India has helped Sri Lanka weather the current economic crisis. Over $3.5 billion have been provided in aid, in the form of food, medicine, fuel, diesel, and natural gas. And when it comes to China, the Hambantota port has been leased out to China for a 99-year lease. And since the opening, it has cost Sri Lanka close to $130 million in losses. And Beijing is also responsible for more than 10% of Sri Lanka's external debt.
Okay, so yeah, they leased it, but then the people they leased it from say, hey, you guys ain't been keeping up your financial end. You're owing us here. And these guys, these neighbors of ours who we see as the future, and if you watch my other videos, you will see that I stated India is set up to be the future China for a longer duration. China had it for 30 years. India's going to have it for 60. You heard it. That's going to be a fact. It's a future fact. I said it's going to happen. Everything it says it's going to happen. All everything's lined up for that to happen. So Sri Lanka tells India, nah, you don't bring in your thing, your little spy ship right now, because or Sri Lanka told China, don't bring in your spy ship right now, even though you had it planned because you wanted to do this invasion. We don't want you here because you're kind of screwed us, and we know you're screwed. Now the public here on my channel know China is screwed financially because I've been bringing you all these reports of how they're screwed, not just the ones you're seeing on these other YouTube channels, because I've never seen any of the stuff that I've brought you mentioned on these other channels. But this here tells you that India, freely of their own free goodwill, knowing that Sri Lanka was owned by China, gave $3.5 billion in resources to them, food, gas, other natural resources to stay alive. And without, I'm sure they probably ask, but without publicly having any meeting or anything, Sri Lanka went ahead and you just don't know how big this is politically. This is a linchpin turning point for China going down. The first of their countries that they financed and bought ports and did all this other stuff is telling them, you're not as valuable to us as our other neighbors. That's a linchpin turning point. I'm telling you, people. Linchpin turning point for the future of our world. That means that China will be going to war with someone, because at the fall, everyone talks about, oh, the great empire is falling. No, we're not. America is not falling. China is falling. So everything everyone says about America falling, put that on China and see what the heck happens. You'll find out. Neil knows. I'm right. That's why I'm starting my own dynasty, the Han dynasty. Because I know there's going to be room in China for a couple new countries. You guys have a great Saturday.